Hey, what's up, YouTube? How's it going? Forever King here, back at you with another video. So today I wanted to discuss the Geras buffs and his placement in the meta after his buffs. Hope you guys all enjoyed CEO. I just caught up with CEO this morning. You know, the grand finals was crazy and the chair being thrown, all those shenanigans. But yeah, so back to Geras. My brother, Brito Voorhees, he actually got top five at CEO, all Geras, you know. A lot of tournaments he'll end up using Johnny Cage because he's not confident in like Gearas's power. But you know, with Johnny Cage being nerfed and Geras being buffed, he actually decided to go all Geras at CEO and he got top five, which was awesome. So I kind of asked his opinion, like, what does he think about the Geras buffs? Is he no longer low tier? Is he mid tier? Is he high tier? Do you think he's viable in tournaments? Also, I'm in a Geras Discord with a bunch of top Geras players like Gurr and a bunch of others. And I also asked them their opinion too, like, what do they think about Geras right now? Is he good enough to compete? Is he still low tier? If he is low tier, what would you guys suggest that he needs to be better? And I'll also give my opinion too. So pretty much, what most of the other Gears players say, and I do agree, is that pre-patch, before the buffs that just happened, Gears was mostly considered bottom five between all top players. Even a lot of top players even had Gears in bottom three. Some top players even had Gears as bottom one. I think Tweety might have been one of them. I don't remember. Like, I get all the top players tier lists confused. There's so many of them, but there was definitely some top players that were putting Gears as bottom one. I don't know if I would have had him at bottom one, but definitely low tier. Inadequate. But the buffs they helped out a little bit. So the general consensus from all the Gears players is that those buffs, him having his fatal blow range increase a lot and the snap being way faster now. Though, and also the sandstorm buff was actually more significant than we thought. He can do 1-2 sandstorm up close and get meterless launches, whereas before he couldn't. So now his combo game is actually better now than it used to be. But still, with these buffs, most Geras players they say that Geras moved from like the bottom three, bottom five range to like he's more like bottom 10 now. So like he used to only be better than like two or three characters. Now he's better than like five or six characters. So still like I guess you could still call it low tier or maybe you can call it low mid tier. So the buffs they helped, but not enough in most Gears players' opinion. So now the question is, what does Gears need to move up to high tier or top tier, or even just like mid tier? Like what changes should they do for Gears so that he's not struggling? And my brother, Gur, me, we kind of all agree. So Gears down one, he has the worst down one in the game. That range needs to be increased on that down one because the way it is now, when you block a down one with most characters, you at least get a guaranteed down one back. You hit them with down one, now you take your turn back. With Geras, he usually can't even reach the other character. After blocking a down one using Geras, you usually can't reach the other player. So you don't even get a follow up down one to check their down one to get, that punish and take your turn back. A lot of times you'll block a down one and then you go to down one them back and then they'll like walk back and hit you with a mid or something. Or sometimes they don't even have to walk back. Sometimes they could literally just do another down one or mid and combo you, just for trying to take your turn back. So I think giving Gears a longer range down one would definitely go a long way. It wouldn't make him top tier, but at least it wouldn't make him struggle as much as he does now. So another thing that a lot of the Gears players are saying is that he has some of the worst armor in the game. So in my opinion, I kind of agree in a way. In a way, I'm like, his armor is one of the best anti-airs in the whole game because it's an armored launcher when you do it against jump-ins, which is amazing. But as far as like armoring out of gaps or trying to take your turn back using armor. I feel like most characters' armor is forward advancing. Like, look at the best character's armor, like Peacemaker. I know Peacemaker's not the best anymore, but he does have one of the best armor attacks. The torpedo moves forward a lot, is fast. You can punish projectiles on reaction. Johnny Cage armor moves forward, punish projectiles on reaction. Punish gaps and strings. Ashra, same thing. Sindel, forward moving armor. So like Reiko, very fast forward moving armor. Sub-Zero, I know Sub-Zero's not top tier, but I'm just pointing out how a lot of characters, their armor forward advances. So you can use their armor to like make reads in the neutral, like, oh, I think they're gonna whiff a button, or I think they're gonna throw a projectile here. You could use your armor to get them. Or at the very least, like if your opponent does something that has a gap, or if they keep like abusing plus frames, you can use your armor to take your turn. With Geras, he's one of the only characters in the game. He might be the only character in the game. I can't think of another one where his armor is stationary. He's just in place when he does his armor. So yeah, I believe he's got the shortest range armor out of the whole entire roster. So you can't use Geras armor to, like if someone keeps like abusing plus frames on you, or if someone does a string that has a gap in it, but their character is still kind of like far from you while they're using that gap, you can't use Geras armor to get out, So I don't know if they should take the armor off of that and give a different move with Geras armor, or I don't know if they should give Geras a second armored attack that actually is like a forward advancing armor that Geras can use to like, interrupt gaps or like punish characters from far away, the same way many of the other characters in the game can do. Those are the two biggest problems that a lot of people point out with Geras, is that he has the worst armor and he has the worst down one. So maybe if they would fix those two problems, I don't think Geras would be top tier, but I do think that he would be much more fun to use and it wouldn't feel as much of a struggle in some scenarios and some matchups. So that is another thing, is his matchups. Like, to be honest, I stopped using Geras for a while. I went to Ermac, so I don't know like the top level with Geras versus each other character, but I trust the other Geras mains in the Discord and my brother. They say that he loses like 7-3 to Tanya. He loses like 7-3 to some other top tiers like Homelander. He can't really catch them, can't really stop them from doing their game plan. And a lot of it has to do with the down one range, the lack of armor that forward advances. So yeah, I don't know. I think that, so obviously the down one range, if they just increase the range on the down one, that would go a really long way. But also the armor, that's going to be a hard suggestion because like, most characters only have one armored attack. So I don't know if we should give Geras a second armored attack. I think it would be fair. I mean, I could be biased because I'm using Geras, but he's a big body, he's a big character. I think it would be okay for Geras to have, like, to keep the armor that he has currently, denial, but also make another one of his attacks armored that, reaches farther. But he doesn't really have any special moves that reach far, so I'm trying to rack my brain of what they could maybe give armor on him. Like, it'd be weird if they gave like his back four, like his sweep armor. You know what I mean? So if you guys, I know I have a lot of Geras players that watch my YouTube channel. Maybe you guys can give your opinion. Like, if they gave Geras a second armor attack, would they have to just make a whole brand new special move that they give to Geras? Or should they make one of his moves that he has right now and just give it armor? But he doesn't really have any special moves that reach far, so I don't know. You guys give me your opinion. Do you guys think Geras is still bottom 5, or do you think he's at least bottom 10 now? And does he not need buffs at all? Tell me what you guys think. Peace.